this morning with a couple of presidents. Once you elect to do that, when you compromise your own integrity, that's it for you. That's it for you. And then you can almost be guaranteed, especially if you're one of those people that want to be in charge, like being in charge, want to be the president, vote your ass out at the earliest possible convenience. And you deserve it. You do not lead by imposing your will. And you most certainly do not lead by giving people what they want all the time. If you know for a fact, rarely does anybody do this because people just love so much being in charge. But rarely do people realize that you probably in your clubs have never had this happen where a president comes to calls a meeting and says, you know what? I realize that I'm not the person for this job. I'm stepping down. I want y'all to hold elections in 30 days, or the vice president is going to get up. And I see people laughing because I know people saying, we ain't never doing that. You want me out of here, you're going to have to kick me out. You're going to have to vote me out. You never hear people come to me and say, you know, I'm not the right person for the job. How many people in here as leaders, as presidents and vice presidents think that they have the honor to do that if they're not doing the job properly? I like the fact that not all hands are going up. That means we got some bullshit artists in the room too, and that's okay. That's okay. Just know that this is an opportunity today to go back and change that to where you are going to be one of those people that's honorable enough to say, you know what, I'm not leading the flock in the right direction. I see where I'm going wrong. I mean, people here are capable of actually going back and saying, hey, I made a mistake on that. Good leaders are able to do that. Good leaders are able to do that. The ones that go and say, I made a mistake, but y'all shouldn't have let me make it. Now, bullshit, you shouldn't have made a mistake. You should not have made a mistake. The bottom line is, we're looking to you to be a leader. Stop passing the buck. I see this with a lot of presidents. If you're talking to, one of the things that we see all the time is that we'll get presidents that we may want to talk to about certain things, and the president says some nobody over there, got in his little 5 minutes, go see what they want. Tell the president to come here. We want to talk to you. Presidents talk to presidents. Presidents communicate with presidents. The same thing goes with you. If you have a club, as presidents, one of the things I really want to drive home to you, you have a club that's in dispute with it, your club is in dispute with another club. You got a couple of people in that equation that need to be resolved in that problem. It stops at the start, that sergeant at all. It stops there. Okay? But for you to think that you can pass that buck to the general member and not oversee the flock correctly, you're sadly mistaken. That is not the job of the president to shirk his or her responsibility. We see that a lot. And we'll go back and talk about, touch back on this a minute with the Protection Act. You need to have people around you that are going to be supportive of what you do because you're doing the right thing. Not supportive of what you do because you're being foolish and they like it. And the example I will give you is this. You got a president that decides later on the night we're all having a good time at the party, hey, go bump him and see what's going to happen. Go slap this one and see what's going to happen. Not a good president at all. The people around you, even though presidents and vice presidents may get loose and have a little bit to drink, somebody around you, and it's the somebody that you pick, should be around you smart enough and capable enough to say, praise, look, I had too much to drink, let's go ahead and get you out of here. And you listen. You listen. You take advantage of the fact that you have good people around you. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting a little feisty here. Maybe it is time for me to leave. You're right about that. I'm telling you all the things that we see in the motorcycle world. I'm telling you how I see people every day shirk their responsibilities when it comes to doing the job. Passing the buck. It's got to stop somewhere. It's got to stop somewhere. Presidents. Those of you that were old presidents, and I'm going to tell them very briefly. Those of you that were old presidents of other clubs and got out of your clubs and became presidents of other clubs. I'm going to say this real quick. Those of you who know me and have heard me speak about this, I ain't going to say pop-up clubs. I'm going to say pop-up clubs. Here's the thing. I have to drive this home about presidents in the pop-up situation real quick. If you left your club and started another club, and the first meeting that you had, the statement that you made to everybody is that we're going to start Joe Shit the Rag Van Riders and I'm going to be the president. If you're in this room and you did that, you're not a fucking president. I want to make sure that you guys understand that because we're finding out that 95% of the African American motorcycle community who decide to start clubs in their garage are doing this. You leave your club, I'm going to be the president. Well, why are you going to be the president? See, I know more than y'all know. So I'm going to be the president. I was the president of my old club. So that qualifies me to be the president of this club. presidents in here. Are you qualified to be presidents and vice presidents? You got to start from somewhere. Are you qualified to be presidents and vice presidents?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I ask that is because a lot of times what makes us qualified is the fact that everybody likes us. It's that simple. You cool, man. You cool, Russell. We're gonna make him the president. Don't know shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna make him the president. You know, having the nicest motorcycle in your chapter, in your club, in your nation, that should not allow you or force you to write to be the president. Having the most money so that you can buy everything for everybody in the chapter or your club should not make you the president. Okay? Those little things that you have should not make you the president. You shouldn't be allowed to be president just because you have all this stuff. Okay? Because of popularity context. Most competent, most confident, most knowledgeable. Those are the three things that I want everybody to say. Most confident, most confident, and most what? Most knowledgeable. Those are the three things that make up an excellent president. You have to be confident. You have to know the job. You have to be confident. You have to be one of those people when nobody else wants to step up, I'm going to step up and tell everybody what's really happening. I'm a president. I know what I'm talking about. Not just because I'm the president. I'm knowledgeable enough. I know I can explain it away. I can tell you how it needs to be done. If you don't have the confidence to do it, you're not ever going to have the leadership ability and skills that it takes to make it happen. It's just not going to be there. You know, these are the things, those are the elements that make up. So when you go back and look at, years to come, when you're one of the people sitting on the other side of you and you're not a president or vice president anymore, go back and make that assessment. Is this person most confident, most knowledgeable? Do they really know what they say they know? Are they quote things that they hear from other people? Last thing I want to drive home, because I've probably had this conversation 1,000 times since I've been this weekend, is that we get complaints all the time about general members coming to us saying that, what the president said that y'all said, they don't really feel like that, but the president said that y'all said, we don't run your clubs. We don't run your clubs. We don't govern your clubs in any kind of way when it comes to what you do in your house. Good leaders stand on their own. Just like I said about mistakes, when presidents make mistakes, stand up and own your mistake. When you put something out, stand on it. When you know that it's right, stand on it even harder. When you believe that you're doing it for the good of the club, for what's best for the club, stand on it. Meaning, back it up, present the facts so that people can believe in what you're saying, buy into it, and go forward with it. Don't blame it on somebody else. Don't say, well, man, I wouldn't want to do this, but this is what they say you got to do. Well, President, what do you say? You're our leader. We put you in this position for a reason. How do you feel about it? What do you think is best for the club? Because I'm sitting here amongst a room full of leaders. Your responsibility to guide and direct and to oversee every single thing. Each one of your probates are to come into your clubs want to be just like the president. Want to be just like the president. When they see you, they are, hey, look, that's exactly. Not because they're the president, because I like what they're doing. I like the direction that they're taking the club in. I like the fact that they actually believe in what they're putting out. They believe in what they're teaching. Everybody should want to be just like you. And if they're not, it's because you're not doing something right. Now, don't get me wrong. That's not to say that we don't have a bunch of assholes to the president. Sometimes the assholes to the president stay in charge for a long time. And half of your membership cannot figure out why. I will say this for the assholes. It's because you're doing a good job. In some cases, you're doing a great job, and they know that you know what's best for the club. How many times you shared with your members, you know what? I don't like that asshole. We got $50,000 in the bank. We can go where we want to go. We can do what we want to do. We're always tight. If there's a problem going on, there's conflict resolution to fix it right then and there. Everything runs smoothly. I think we're going to keep the asshole in place. So sometimes being an asshole, I'm not saying go out and be assholes and hardcore say it's okay to do that. I'm saying realistically, sometimes it takes a hard ass to run these clubs. Can you imagine trying to run a club like the Outcast? How do you govern the ungovernable? It's real easy. It's real easy, believe it or not. It's called buying in. It's called buying in. For you presidents and vice presidents, you need buy-in to be successful. You need buy-in for the success rate that you're trying to achieve. Buy-in is simply this. You come to a meeting and you present an idea. It's going to be real easy to see one or two things. Either the idea is going to do good for you as an individual, make you wealthy or make you famous, or the idea is going to be very, very, very good for the club. What's good for the club is good for everybody. If you want buy-in, be reasonable, be professional, be smart about your motorcycle club business. If you expect to get a buy-in, show your members that you're willing to pick up a Bible at the end of the night right along with them in your clubhouse. If you want buy-in, don't send somebody to your damn member's house who just got hit and is laying up in the hospital or just made it home from the hospital. Get your presidential ass or your vice presidential ass up and you go. You are in charge of the flock. Okay? And it starts with you. If you want people, if you want these people to have buy-in, it's simple. It's really simple. Be the epitome, be the perfect example of what you should be as a brother, as a sister. Don't fake it. Don't fake it. Anything that's going down in your club, you need to be right there on it. You know, I like it when I heard somebody say this to Bolo earlier today. This is why he's my president. This is why he's my president. I love hearing that. Because obviously he's doing right. He's doing something right if his members are coming up and saying it. The point I'm making is this. There's some buy-in there. Just like there should be some buy-in in your club. Though that buy-in is where it starts. You have to have it. You have to be convincing, but you have to be convincing about the right stuff. You know, if you're a bullshit artist, the buy-in doesn't last very long. I'm going to tell you right now. It's real easy to see when you're not promoting the plight of the club. And the plight of the club is what you're responsible, not your own personal plight. The plight of the club is what it's really about. It is about the club. It's not about you as a president. And we hear this all the time. Hey man, I leave them because they don't know what they're doing. Well, if they don't know what they're doing, that speaks volumes for you. That means that you don't know what the hell you're doing. And it's that simple. And those things can easily be corrected. As presidents, as vice presidents, always be seeking knowledge. Always, I don't know if you guys notice, I don't know if you do this in your meetings, but when you go to every meeting, the president, at minimum, every meeting, or vice president, or at least somebody that you designate as a president, should be bringing an educational piece to your meeting every time you meet. Every time you have church, you should be sitting down talking about something and bringing something in that they didn't know before. Task these members in your club, task the general members in your club, task your cabinet with things like, you know what, go out and find out just geographically how many clubs are in our area and how long they've existed. Find out who the older clubs are. These are the things, spark that educational piece. You're required to produce some continuing education in your club. A lot of presidents don't think that they have the responsibility to do that. That's not your responsibility. You're required to continue to teach. Your club is going to be, they're only going to be as good as you allow them to be. I've seen so many presidents stifle growth simply by not adding that educational piece in there. It's really simple. Educate. Continue to educate. Continue to teach. As presidents, I know a lot of times we get into this thing, I'm the president, nobody talks to me, everybody stay away from me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's fine. Then you have clubs that have, that operate with that open door policy. Anybody can come to me. Well, I want to clear that up so that we got this whole thing straightened out. Because one of the biggest mistakes that we see with overstepping boundaries when it comes to your cabinet and you governing your cabinet as a president is that presidents sometimes will tell the member that just got in 5 minutes ago, if you got a problem, you come see me. Especially if it's your boy that just finally decided to come into the club, or it's your girl who you've been trying to get in forever. You come see me. But as a president, what gives you the right to overstep the people that are doing their jobs in the cabinet? That's what good presidential leadership starts. No, if you have a problem, you go see who?
Sergeant at Arms.
Sergeant at Arms. That's who you go and see. If the Sergeant at Arms if it's so overwhelming of a problem and he can't figure it out, he can't deal with it, who does he need to see? The Vice President. And when it comes to the Vice President, if it's just so out of control, so overwhelming that he simply can't get it or she can't get it, they can't wrap their minds around it, who does it come to?
President.
Okay. Everybody understands the way this works, right? You don't overstep your chain of command for anything. You have those elected officials in place all the time.